Okay, nothing to see here. The media providing the White House some support and downplaying the findings from the FBI and Energy Department that COVID likely leaked from a lab in China.
No surprise here, Jake, that Republicans on Capitol Hill are seizing on this new reporting.
Bad Energy Department. No biolabs until you finish building your electric car charging stations. Stay in your lane.
They're saying the confidence is low in it.
They're coming to a conclusion based on incomplete intelligence.
FBI says this, NIC says that. I'm holding out until the DMV chimes in.
And Republicans say Democrats and the media are doing Beijing's bidding.
You still have liberals in the media and the Biden administration acting like a defense lawyer for the Chinese communists, covering up for them, apologizing for them, excusing them, acting like we can turn the page when millions of Americans lost loved ones, lost businesses, lost jobs, and we have not yet held China accountable for all of that harm.
And the FBI is pushing back against criticism of the lab leak conclusion. Director Christopher Wray defending the Bureau's findings in an interview with Brett Baer that's going to air tonight. Watch here.
The FBI has for quite some time now assessed that the origins of the pandemic are most likely a potential lab incident in Wuhan. Let me step back for a second. You know, the FBI has folks, agents, professionals, analysts, virologists, microbiologists, et cetera, who focus specifically on the dangers of biological threats.
And Dr. Fauci weighed in. Call for number one here.
We must all keep an open mind as to all possibilities need to be entertained.
Do you think we'll ever know how the pandemic originated?
Might not. It very well might not. We may not ever know. That's unfortunate, but that's the possibility that we might not ever know.
I mean, don't we know, Greg?
No, Dana, we will never know. I use this a lot with my wife at home when she says, like, who was that woman you were with? And I go,
You may never know.
You may never. I don't know what you're talking about, but in truth, we will never know. It's not a defense. It's more like it's wishful thinking. I mean, if you were on the hook for 9 million dead, you want to hope that perhaps we'll never know, because what we might find out is that, you know, it leaked from a lab in which the United States was involved with. That's the kind of thing that, you know, was brought up here a couple of years ago, and it was laughed at, and now it's like, it's good. It's a plurality. It's reached a plurality. The thing I've noticed is that when it was decided that it was naturally derived, the scramble was on to find out what it was at the wet market. Was it a pangolin? Was it a bat soup, whatever? Who was there? What happened? Then when the man-made origins become more and more plausible to the point where, yeah, it's so obvious that it's true. Now we'll never know. So how convenient is that? Everybody was looking for the origins until you found the origin. And then it's like, yeah, you know what? We're going to say with this. There was a guy from The Daily Show I thought did a pretty decent thing about talking about how this was almost like a team sport in the sense that, like, you know, it's got to be a wet market. No, it's got to be the lab. Why is this now a team sport? Like, why do you have to be married to this? The only reason why you would be married to one or the other is to escape culpability.
Ro Khanna, this is call for number 3. Harold, listen to him. I think you might agree with him, but also I'm just curious why more Democrats don't. Watch here.
As you know, I'm a defender of the First Amendment, of free speech, and I think it was wrong to try to censor the folks who were arguing that it was an accidental leak from a lab. At the very least, we know it's a plausible theory if the Department of Energy has put this out.
Harold?
I agree with him. I've said I think he's one of the more sensible and thoughtful people in Congress, Democrat or Republican. And I don't think you censor anybody. You can disagree with him and put forward the facts to refute it. On the FBI matter, and I'm interested in watching Brett tonight because the full interview will be on there. He basically said, we've been investigating this for a long time, which I was pleased to hear. And FBI didn't have to tell us everything. Like, they didn't let us know when all the leads they had on that double murder suspect in Idaho, even when we were all saying, why don't they tell us more? Why aren't they doing more? I'm glad they were. Maybe they've done more here. You have to think the administration, I give them some credit for maybe being clever here. And I condition it maybe with you guys, but I think it could be clever in this standpoint. Why would you let 4 different agencies come out with 2 different positions? Some may say, you may cynically say, well, that's political. They want to make sure they're covered. Two, it could be that they're being really clever about this. The Department of Energy and the FBI says, look, we believe that this thing could have been a lab leak. And other agencies, two agencies said, well, we don't think that could be the case. They both have low levels of confidence. I hope we continue to investigate this, not from the standpoint of being able to blame a party or another, but to figure out how and why we had to suffer like we suffered as a nation. Like I give President Trump a lot of credit when he encouraged NATO to spend more in defense. Some Democrats jumped on him. NATO's now spending more in defense. They're investing more in their defense. Not as much as we'd like, but they're investing more than they were before. So I like these kind of efforts here, and I'm hopeful that instead of playing the blame game, that we will figure out how we prevent this. We should all be in the problem solving.
The FBI's confidence was medium level, and the Department of Energy was low.
I thought they were both low.
No, one's medium, one's low.
Come on, Harold.
Come on, Harold.
Stop hiding the facts.
All right, first of all, I don't think anything is clever about our government saying, some...
I said maybe.
Oh, you said maybe, okay.
Low confidence.
Here's the bottom line. Did somebody eat a bat, or was this engineered to be transmitted to us as humans? I think we all agree it was engineered in a lab where we gave money to the Eco Alliance, the Eco Health Alliance, for gain of function, all right? They're covering their asses. I said this yesterday because they don't want any discussion of that. But this is a problem for Biden. And when Fauci comes out, this guy's a scientist, a virologist. He comes out and says, we may never know. Hogwash, we may never know. They're virologists. They are scientists. They should know. The truth is, it's better to say we may never know because 1 million Americans died. And they're dizzying and going back and forth. The United States has to decouple from China. And this is just another piece of the puzzle. We had the balloon a few weeks ago. Now COVID is back. China wouldn't let us in there. They were very opaque, even though I think Ray said today the Chinese government was doing their best to obfuscate and thwart answers. The bottom line is China is not someone that we want to work with or necessarily defend. There's no point in it. And I don't think anybody's being clevered. We've suffered enough. Our kids have suffered enough. Businesses have gone under. People have been depressed. People have died. It's horrible. No more dilly-dallying. Get to the bottom of it and move on.
All right, Jesse, wrap it up
Fauci
here.
knew everything, and now you'll never know.
Now you'll never.
Fauci had all the answers, but now he's keeping an open mind. Well, it turns out Fauci's lab partner killed 1 million Americans. And he's like, well, my lab partner may have killed a lot of people here, and we might have the same alibi, but don't listen to any of the whistleblowers and don't listen to any of the scientists who disagree with me. I mean, this guy has 1 million dead Americans potentially on his hands, but he's keeping an open mind about that. Good job, Fauci. Can't throw, can't grow, and I'm not going to say what else you can't do. Colbert is basically the court jester for Pfizer. Remember, he was supposed to make the vaccines go down easy? And there's a smoking gun document. Fauci was like emailing him, hey, can you do a little skit for us to make everybody get boosted? So he was doing this. And why was he doing this? Because his company is owned by, Viacom, Paramount? Do you know how much money their parent company has at stake in China? We're talking billions and billions of dollars. These parent companies, they censor their own content in China. You don't think they censor their own content in the United States as well? Of course they do, Dana.
Of course
and that's me told.
Yes, and I say that with a high level of confidence.
When have you said anything without a high level of confidence?
Never. And I say that with a high level.
All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.